Hello, viewers of Jonathan George Valeria's Word Emporium. I am Jonathan George Valeria, and I am excited to share with you how we can expand our knowledge of the world through the English language. Our videos cover a range of topics such as literature, history, science, and more to provide you with a well-rounded learning experience, regardless of whether you are a beginner or an experienced learner. Our expertly curated videos offer captivating and enlightening content to help you enhance your language proficiency. Today, I will delve deeper into the fascinating topic of the Tower of Babel and the origins of language differences. The story of the Tower of Babel is undoubtedly one of the most well-known tales from the Bible. According to the story, after the Great Flood, humanity came together to ambitiously build a tower that would audaciously reach the heavens. However, God, justifiably unhappy with their arrogance and insatiable desire for power, decided to confound their language so that they could no longer effectively communicate with each other. This inevitably resulted in the people abandoning their grandiose projects and disappearing across the earth, each with their own uniquely peculiar language. While the story itself may be a myth, it raises some extremely thought-provoking questions about the origins of language differences. Linguists have long debated whether language evolved gradually over time or if it was a sudden event that occurred as a result of drastic social and environmental changes. One intriguing theory is that language evolved as a means of communication between early humans, allowing them to efficiently coordinate activities such as hunting and gathering. As humans began to progressively migrate across the globe, their languages diverged and evolved into the immense variety of languages we have today. Another fascinating theory is that language differences arose as a result of cultural and social factors, such as the need to distinguish oneself from other groups or to mark social status. In this view, language differences are not so much a result of biological evolution, but rather a reflection of cultural and social identities. Regardless of the origins of language differences, the fact remains that we live in the world of incredibly diverse languages and cultures. In fact, there are currently over 7,000 languages spoken around the world, each with its own intricately unique grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation. As a language enthusiast myself, I find it fascinating to thoroughly explore the idiosyncrasies of different languages and how they authentically reflect the cultures they are associated with. For example, the Eskimo Aleut languages have meticulously nuanced words for different types of snow, truly reflecting the significance of snow and ice. For example, the Eskimo Aleut languages have meticulously nuanced words for different types of snow, truly reflecting the significance of snow and ice in their daily lives. Similarly, the Bantu languages of Africa have intricately complex systems of noun classes, effectively reflecting the way that different objects and concepts are meaningfully grouped together in African culture. In addition to the sheer diversity of languages, it's also crucial to consider the significant challenges of language barriers and the essential importance of communication in our globalized world. What technologies has made it easier than ever to connect with people from different parts of the world, language barriers can still be an exceptionally daunting hurdle. To effectively overcome these barriers, it's vitally important to not only learn new languages but also to generally understand and appreciate the cultural differences that come with them. This means being generally open to different ways of thinking, communicating, and being truly willing to adapt to new environments. In conclusion, the story of the Tower of Babel serves as a personal reminder of the absolute importance of communication and the substantial dangers of arrogance and hubris. By fully embracing diversity and working towards meaningfully connecting across linguistic and cultural barriers, we can wholeheartedly work towards a more harmonious and connected world. Thanks for watching. We hope this discussion has been informative and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. We appreciate your support and welcome your comments and feedback. Follow us on social media for more exciting content and updates on upcoming videos. We look forward to sharing more insightful and inspiring content with you in the future.